Today, consumer contributor Jodie White. Jodie, good morning.
Hi Tracy, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Good to see you. Let's get to Charles and Camilla in a minute. But, you know, weddings cost a fortune these days. I think we said before the break, $28,000 for an average. Do we get sucked into paying too much, do you think?
Well, I think it's just such an emotive time and we just can't help ourselves and we sort of get carried away with all of the options out there, with that.
Plus, everyone's got an opinion, hasn't they?
Well, that's right.
Everyone wants something.
Exactly. And I think what you've got to do is you've got to work out and say, look, it's our wedding. That's the first thing. This is the way we'd like to do it because everybody's going to have a say. It's like rearing children too, isn't it? Everyone's got a comment there. But what you've got to do, I think, initially is have that vision out there and think, what's the day going to look like? What do I want to happen on the day and how am I going to make that happen? So I'd be certainly doing that as the first step. And once you get that sort of visual picture, you can then actually put that piece by piece together and then you can sort of get your budget associated with that and sort of work down that track. So it's quite a procedural thing, and I think as soon as that question's popped, you've got to go on a mission out there to start getting it organised.
You have to ask yourself your priorities, I suppose. Do you want designer flowers on every table, or do you just want a couple of big arrangements on either side of the aisle? That sort of thing, I guess.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, Tracy, as soon as you start saying, look, I'd like to order some wedding flowers, or I'd like to order a wedding cake, people go, bingo, another 50% on top for the cost. So
as soon as you say that they're wedding flowers?
Correct. I need to book a wedding card, like some wedding flowers or anything like that. So you're better off just saying, look, I'd like a really nice cake with a bunch of pretty flowers on it and not say anything about wedding, and then you'd probably get a damn fine cake and not have to pay anywhere near as much.
That's quite a good idea, but wedding cakes tend to look like wedding cakes, don't they? That's the only...
There is that, and the other thing is, Trace, there are many creative and clever people out there, and some of your friends or relatives might be very good at baking.
You want the cake.
Correct, and whether it's the cake or even the dress.
Okay, let's talk about the venue, because it seems that a lot of heartache goes into the venue.
Oh, yes.
Is it cheaper to get married at a reception venue and then just, walk around the back to the party than it is to go to a church first? And I know that it's not an option to people for whom a church wedding is important.
Sure, that's right.
But is it cheaper that way?
Look, I think that it's quite interesting how that's changed over time. I think there's always been this perception out there that if we get married in the garden, it's going to be a lot cheaper, or outside. But you've got to actually think about that, because you're relying a lot on the fact that the weather has to be fantastic, and if it's not going to be fantastic, then you're going to have a marquee, you're going to have special outdoor seats. What's going to happen to the music? Where is Auntie May going to sit with her walking frame? So yeah, it's not.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think the bar bill's a big one too, and I'm just wondering whether Charles and Camilla could just ask everyone to bring a bottle.
Well, I think that's fair, don't you? Look, I think Charles and Camilla have probably got a few internal resources, and I know that the Queen's a little concerned about this, but
you think... mates that have good cellars.
Correct.
Wouldn't you think?
And they could stop the gate crashes, because they could have these Busby-clad blokes out the front, couldn't they, on guard to stop all those nasty gate crashes and stuff. They've got a few ponies if they wanted to go horse and carriage, a few cars in the garage. I don't know what the problem is, personally. I mean, what's wrong with a sturdy ladder and a good window, I say?